All right, good morning. Another day, another COVID devotional. I think the COVID Groundhog's Day is quickly approaching for us here in North Carolina, where we're going to find out if we get to emerge from our little shelters here or if we're going to have 6 more weeks of COVID winter. So hopefully things will clear up. We'll be out and about. But for now, let's continue our Nehemiah study. We're going to look at chapter 4, verses 15 to the end today. So, when our enemies heard that it was known to us and that God had frustrated their plans and all returned to the wall, each to his work. From that day on, half of my servants worked on construction and half held the spears, shields, and bows and coats of mail, and the leaders stood behind the whole house of Judah, who were building on the wall. Those who carried burdens were loaded in such a way that each labored on the work with one hand and held his weapon with another. And each of the builders had his spear strapped at his side while he built. The man who sounded the trumpet was beside me. So I'm going to take a pause right here. Something that I've kind of picked from this passage has been the mandate to defend oneself. So when I think about whether or not the Bible would approve of concealed carry or being able to defend yourself from an attacker, or should we love everyone even if they start punching me in the face, I think this here points to a reasonable defense of oneself. So continue at verse 19. Sorry, I've got to sneeze. That was cute. All right. And I said to the nobles and to the officials and to the rest of the people, the work is great and widely spread, and we are separated on the wall, far from one another. In the place where you hear the sound of the trumpet, rally to us there, or God will fight for us. So we labored at the work. Half of them held the spears from the break of dawn until the stars came out. I also said to the people at that night, let every man and his servant pass the night within Jerusalem, that they may be a guard for us by night, and may labor by day. So neither I nor my brothers, nor my servants, nor the men of the guard who followed me, none of us took off our clothes. Each kept his weapon at his right hand. So I think there are 3 kind of takeaways from this passage about just general life lessons, things that we can learn and things that we can apply to the church today. Number 1 is that when they were under attack, they would sound the trumpet wherever the attack was occurring. And then all of Israel's forces would rush to that location to defend the wall where it was being attacked. I think there's a clear correlation between this strategy and what we as a church should enable. But the first thing that needs to happen is that the area under attack needs to sound the trumpet. I think a lot of times we struggle silently in the Christian community. We're afraid of being judged by other people, and we don't want to ask for help even when we need help. But the thing that we discover here is that the first thing you should do is sound the trumpet when you need help. The second thing is what happened when they sounded the trumpet. Everyone rushed to defend that part of the wall. It was a rallying call that resulted in unity. That's how the church should respond when there are outside attacks on people inside of the church. And these might not be just physical attacks or political attacks. They could be just someone who feels lonely in isolation, or somebody who's not having a good time, or they're depressed. When they sound the trumpet, we need to respond in unity as a church, rallying to that person to fend off whatever is attacking the people on our tribe, if you will. So next, the people were perpetually diligent. We saw that at the very end, that they kept their clothes on all the time. They slept with the sword beside them. They stayed in the city walls. They were always on the lookout. And we as Christians always need to be on the lookout, both from outside attacks, but also inside attacks. We need to be ready for Satan to tempt us, to distract us. We need to be perpetually vigilant for the things in our lives that demand our attention. Where is Satan trying to build disunity in the church? Where am I being prideful? Where is my sin starting to blind me from things? What sin am I hiding from other people? These are the things that we need to be perpetually diligent about. Well, I think that's enough for one day. If we could just do those 3 things, no big deal, right? We're on it. The Lord be with you today.